Hey guys, it's Miss Allison. We're back for our next pattern. Today we're going to be doing spiral. So I've got my handkerchief here. I've got my die ready to go. If you have not watched the video on how to prep everything, go back and do that. It's up at the very beginning of all of our videos for this month. And we are going to get ready to go. All right, so I've got my handkerchief. I'm going to go ahead and lay it out flat. And you can do this, you don't have to do this inside your box. So this is a lot easier if you're kind of on a flat surface to do this. All right, so what I want to do, I want to pick a spot in here, and it doesn't have to be in the center, but you just got to pick a spot somewhere on here. I'm going to go to the center just to make this easier. But what you want to do is you want to pinch a little area of it, and we are going to twist. So we're going to twist this all the way up until we have everything bunched up. And when we get to a certain point, we kind of have to like pull it together for this because the corners don't really want to do what they're supposed to without a little bit of help. All right, so we're gonna make this, it kind of looks like a rose or like a flower. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take 3 rubber bands. So mom and dad, this may be where your kiddo needs a little bit of help with getting these on if they're a little bit younger. Kind of takes 2 people sometimes to do these. But what you want to do is you want to do 3 rubber bands. So the first one I'm going to do is just going to go across, and I'm keeping everything tucked in right here. And I'm not even twisting this and putting it on. I'm just looping it on there. Okay. The next one is going to make an X. So I want to find a place where I can cross this first one that I did. And I'm sorry if you are hearing the rain, it is loud. All right, so there's my next one. And now I'm going to go back and put another one on here. So it's getting kind of hard to see where that first one went. All right, so you see where I crossed these. Now I'm going to come back and cross them again. So I am making like a pie or like a pizza kind of look with this. And basically what I'm doing is I'm creating these sections. So I'm actually going to pull that rubber band out just a little bit so that it's out there on top and I can still see it. Okay, so you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections on here. And I'm going to put my gloves on to do my die. And when I do my die, I'm going to actually, because I'm only using the primary colors, I'm going to mix and make the secondary colors so that I can have a rainbow effect. And when I do that, I want to make sure I'm using my lightest colors first. So I'm going to use my yellow first because it's the lightest of all the colors. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to use red first. I'm sorry. We're going to pick a section and start there. Red is the first color in the rainbow. And so I want to kind of stay in between my 2 rubber bands right here. So I'm just squeezing. And if you think that you've got enough dye on here, you can always go back and add just a little bit more because it's got to get down into those crevices. And if you don't do a lot on the top, you don't have to do all of it. It doesn't take much really on your backpack. It will take a little bit more just because it's a little bit thicker material than what I've got here. But if you are, if you've not put a whole lot on the top, more than likely it hasn't gotten down into the middle. Okay, so now I'm going to go in, I'm going to make orange, and I'm just moving to the next section. But I'm going to do yellow first because yellow and red make orange. So you can do this whatever way you want to. I'm just choosing to do this because it's what I wanted to do. But if you don't want to do it this way, then feel free to do it another way. If you want to do like red and green, blue and green, whatever you want to do, feel free to do it. Now I am going back and adding yellow on top of that. And it may be a little bit hard to see on camera, but that really is turning more orange than red when I put that yellow back on there. Okay. So my next color is going to go in this section right here because I've got red, orange, yellow. And I'm just going to do yellow in here. Now you can see how the yellow or the red has already like seeped in under some of the other sections. That's okay. It's not going to hurt anything at all. All right. So in the rainbow, we have red, orange, yellow. My next color will be green. So I'm going to my next section here, and I've got that rubber band's kind of hiding in there. So I'm going to see if I can separate that out just a little bit so that I can see where I'm going. And I'm going to do yellow first because it's my lighter color. And then I'm going to make my green by mixing blue in. And the really cool part about mixing dye is that you can make it like whatever kind of green you want. If I want more of a yellow green, I don't put as much blue in here. If I want it to be more of a blue green, then I add more blue. Okay, I want mine kind of middle of the road. So I think I may just leave it like it is. Let me see if I put a little bit of yellow on there, what we get. But I really do like that green the way it is. All right, my next section is going to be blue because that comes next in the rainbow. And I am just going to put that dye down in there. Now remember, if I'm not putting a ton on the top, then it's probably not getting down into those sections in the middle. So I'm not going to have a whole lot of color in the middle of this. And that's okay if that's the way you want it. Not a problem at all. All right, I have one section left. And I am going to make purple this time. Now, I have a red and a light blue. So I'm actually going to use my blue first because it's a little bit lighter than this red. And I want that to be on there before I put the red on. And then I can kind of control what kind of purple I get. So I've got red going on now. And then just like I've done with my yellow on other things, I'm going to go back in and add some more blue on top of this just to make it more purple. Okay, it automatically turned purple when I did that. So really cool how it makes these colors change just immediately. So can you see the rainbow on here? Let me know in the comments if you can see it. So I've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then purple. Now, I've done this side. I've got to flip it over and do it on the other side. So I've got a puddle right here that I can go in and clean up, or I can just pick a different spot and lay it down and go from there. Okay. So same thing again, but you got to find your spots. So I've got red right here. I'm going to go in, put my red in right there. I'm going to match these up to what you did before. And then I'm going to do my orange right here. You can see how those colors were kind of mixing in. And that's okay. That's the beauty of tie-dye, is that they all do mix together and make really pretty colors together. But they keep their, they kind of keep their separate spaces too. So we're going to add some more yellow in there. And if you are mixing colors, I will say your yellow goes the fastest because you usually mix it in with other stuff first. All right, so I've got my yellow there. Now I got to do yellow again because we got to make our green right here. It's already making a really cool green color, but I want to add just a little bit of blue on there. You can see all my dyes running out from the other side. It's pretty neat. All right, got my blue that I'm going to put in right here. All right, and then I'm going to do my blue and my red. And if you have like a wire cookie sheet that you use like when you are cooling cookies, you can definitely put this on top of that and let the dye run underneath it, because then that kind of helps it keep from setting in it and you don't run into issues once you're done. The dye all kind of goes down underneath. But when we're in the studio, a lot of times we don't use those. We just set it in the tray and we just pick it up, once it's done. All right, so I am shaking out some of that extra dye, and then I'm going to flip this back over, make sure I'm good on that side too. And then I'm going to put this in a bag and I'm going to let it set for 24 hours. So it's got to set until tomorrow for me to be able to rinse this in cold water. And then once all the dye has come out that's going to come out, I'm going to throw it in the washing machine and let it wash on a cold cycle. And then it will be ready to go. I can use it then. All right. Don't forget to post a picture if you use this technique in our community. Let us see it. We want to see what you created. Have a great day.